Hi, and welcome back to what is the penultimate episode of the prologue adventure of Master Nyarlathotep. We're the Steady Rolling Man, and we cannot wait to get started. We're really pleased to have you along, and here it comes, Episode 8.
We shall begin then. After consulting with Nera, the Yatiri on Lake Titicaca, and defeating a young Karasiri girl, you left with the map showing the way to the pyramid and headed back to the shores of Puno. After your return journey across the lake, the balsa containing Lex and Douglas was attacked by a second Karasiri lurking beneath the water and sank. Lex ended up in the water with a knife-wielding Pishtaku before being hauled to safety by Douglas, and then shooting the fat-sucking vampire in the head at point-blank range. A hasty exit from Puno followed in an attempt to leave Larkin behind, with Jacob successfully running interference, whilst the expedition was readied without the knowledge of its former leader. To ensure that Larkin would struggle to follow once he realised what had happened, his equipment was taken and he was duped into taking a large dose of heroin and left unconscious in his room as you headed out of the city for the highlands. And just in case that wasn't enough, to prevent the sickly archaeologist from following, in one final diabolical act, Jacob took all of his shoes. During your 3 days' travel across the stunning but challenging terrain of the Andean highlands, you have lost a mule to a night attack by a Karasiri, been shot at by a seemingly terrified alpaca farmer, and finally witnessed two figures, almost certainly Karasiri, heading across the plains ahead of you in the direction of the pyramid. But you have, to this point, survived unscathed beyond blistered feet and cold, aching limbs. You now stand, regaining your breath atop a rocky outcropping, high on a mountain pass, looking out across a wind-swept valley through your binoculars. It is early afternoon, and although the sun shines, the air is chill and the wind is biting. Below you and across the valley is a plateau, the land around which is arid, dusty and sparse. Atop the plateau is a man-made structure, a low-stepped, flat-topped pyramid that crouches amidst the dust clouds and brownish-grey dirt. The pyramid is surrounded by a stone wall, now partially buried in silt in places, but the visible portions of which protrude from the ground to a fair height. Irrespective of Jackson's approving nods as he consults Naira's map, you would all be positive simply by the look and the feel of the place that your search for Iake di Hawaka has ended. Between your vantage point and the pyramid, you can see two human figures below you moving quickly across the grassland on the valley floor toward the final steep climb to the ruins. One of the figures wears a wide-brimmed hat and carries a thin sabre at its waist. The other is garbed in the ubiquitous woolen clothing and poncho of the natives here and carries an emaciated body over his left shoulder. Okay, this is where we pick up from last week. So Jackson says, looking at the route that we've got here, the options that we have are either dropping down into the valley, following those Karasiri, if that's what they are, we can see there. The problem with that is that it looks like the climb on the other side is really steep, and you wouldn't be able to get the mules up there. The other option we have is taking the circling round the edges of the peaks at the same height that you're at now, and then dropping down from above. The path looks really narrow and quite treacherous in places, but you probably have more chance of getting the mules there. The downside to it is that it's going to take us a lot longer to do that.
I think we should go the longer route because the equipment that we've got on the mules is going to be useful to us.
Also, the shorter route sounds like we'd be quite easily ambushed if we're having to climb up the last bit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we should go around.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, there's no guarantee that we're going to be able to get the mules there either way, because as I said, I mean, you can all see that it looks pretty.
Better than some chance than no chance.
Well, exactly that. Okay, so that's settled. Then we'll go the high road. Okay, you all pull your clothes up around your faces, and kind of get ready to set off again. As I said, even though it's the sun's out and it's clear, it's actually really cold now. The wind doesn't help. Okay, you're going to head off. You anticipate it probably is going to take you guess, maybe somewhere in the region of an hour and a half to get from your current position to the ruins where you're aiming to get to. If you'd the other way would probably be a lot quicker, as I said, but you decided to go the top way. That's great. Okay, so let's go. You break your resting place and you head off To start with, the paths are narrow, rocky, precipitous in places, but generally passable. But the farther you go, and the closer you get to the path that drops down to the ruins, the more difficult it becomes. There are scree slopes. There's a lot of kind of adverse camber on the paths. Some of them are really narrow, and with the mules all being loaded up quite considerably, some of them begin to struggle. And you kind of have to do everything you can to coax them forward. Does anybody have any animal handling ability?
I think that's a no.
Yeah, what might that
generally-
be? There isn't an animal handling skill. What
Right.
might
There
we
is.
go
I think it's
for?
the closest.
Okay.
I could try and persuade it.
I could
No,
try
it's,
and. How about intimidate?
Intimidating.
Yeah.
you kick it up the arse. Okay. Yeah, you can make a ride roll. Spend-
Yeah.
so basically, it's ride or wilderness survival, mountains, which I presume
In
that
this particular
no
case,
one's
it might be ride or die.
Yeah. Okay. So
Wilderness
you've
survival.
got to a particularly difficult path, and literally the mules are refusing to go any further. It's really steep downwards, and there's kind of a really big drop off the side of it. And yeah, they're refusing to go any further. So you need to do something to try and coax them forward.
Got any carrots?
Okay, well, okay, at 80 and a 90, there's a good start.
That's a no.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, whisper in its ear. See
It
if that
kicks
doesn't
you in
good.
the nuts.
Oh, that's close. But no.
No.
We should probably try and take some of the equipment off them, because if we do
Yeah.
lose a
Yeah.
mule, we don't want to lose the equipment as well.
Hold on. Let's see what Jackson said. He's got some experience of burrows.
Ah,
What did he get?
I don't know. There's an 11 on the thing. Who is that?
It's not mine.
Says
86.
86.
Oh,
Stanton got who rolled 11 then?
might be just a graphical glitch.
No, nobody can persuade them to move forward, and you actually think that if there's a quite high chance that if you did kind of force them forward, that they could end up falling off the path, and like you said, take her.
Yeah, I would not want the one that's carrying the dynamite to fall, because that would be nasty.
So what
What
do
do
we
we do?
do? Try to lighten the load, just take half off, try and get the mules down, then bring them back up, take the other half of the equipment.
Well, we don't.
Um,
I guess things like our tents and stuff. We don't need them, do we? Up until we come back.
No, that is true. That is true. So we could try and
Try and just tie them up and perhaps take them somewhere a little bit.
Or leave the
less
tents
scary.
here.
it would probably be safe. I won't doubt that anybody's going to come and steal
The
them.
other option, I suppose, the other option is we could take some of the kit off and try and carry it ourselves along this path, and then reload it on the other side.
Yeah.
But then,
Yeah.
that's assuming that we don't find any more areas like this.
What about blinkers on the mules so that they can't be what's scaring them?
Yeah, but then if they fall off,
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
Let's try all of those things.
in which order?
If we leave the mules here, they'll get attacked by Karasiri.
Well,
Yeah,
it's,
Yeah,
I
but
but
if
mean,
we take the mules,
anyway.
take the mules
Attacked.
down, we're taking them
And
towards
pyramids.
Kurosari.
Yeah, they'll get attacked as well.
I mean, it seems like the Karasiri use the bottom route, but I wouldn't want to leave them because the whole point of us bringing them is they got a load of stuff we need.
Take some of the stuff off, and we'll try and see whether that works.
Okay.
Yeah, so maybe take off. Yeah, as Jackson said, take off the tents, things that we don't need here now.
Okay, so what you're going to do? You're going to take some of the stuff off, and then carry it along this path. And is that what the plan is, or are you just
Yeah,
going to leave it here?
no, I'm not going to leave it. We'll carry it and then see whether we can get the
Okay.
mules.
Okay. Okay, can I get you all? 'Cause it is quite a precipitous path, as I said. So, like when you're carrying the stuff, obviously it's making it's underfoot is pretty rocky in places and difficult to maintain
Is
your
it going
balance.
to be advantageous for us to rope ourselves to each other, or is that just going to mean we all fall?
Awful.
I think it's better if you rope together. So
Yeah.
not everyone's going to fall at the same time. One person may stumble.
The two people either side of the faller hopefully will be able to stop them.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea.
I look around at the others and then look at me and go, if I fall, I'm killing you all.
Yeah, but
Maybe
if one of us
you go at the
falls,
back. Well, if you go at the back, then Lex, then like we could all get through, and then the difficult bit, and then you could come. We could all hold you.
Lex might be better in the middle because that means two people can help stop him fall.
Okay.
Otherwise, if he's at either end, it's only the next person who can stop him.
yeah, and then they'll go, and then the next one will go, and then that'll be it.
Okay. Well, we're gonna wrap. Are we gonna tie ourselves together?
I think so.
Yes. I think we should.
Okay. Right. Well, let's do that then. We've got plenty of rope, so we tie ourselves together. Okay. So who wants to go first? Once we've done that, we've unloaded some of the heavy kit off the mules, like the tents and stuff.
I'll tell you what, I will go first.
Okay. Can you make a dexterity roll then, please?
No. I
Okay.
failed my dex.
That's fine, but it's not a bad enough fail for it. So you
No.
move along really
It's a
slowly,
little
and
fail, yeah.
it's a difficult job for you. You're not particularly sure-footed in this climate and environment, but yeah, you taking your time. You stumble a couple of times, but you manage to get past there's one or two really difficult areas. You manage to get past them without any further ado. Okay, so you're now around on the other side of the. I mean, the drop off the side. If you fell, well, it'd be instant death. You know that. Okay, who's going next?
I'll go next.
Okay.
I'll brace myself now.
That's a no.
Okay, 72
Not
again.
not by too far.
Yeah, similar to Lex. Again, you find it pretty difficult, but you manage to get around without with any kind. You stumble a couple of times, but you don't actually. Nothing too serious. It's quite. So you get around the other side. Okay, Jackson. Shall I go next, or shall I go last?
Go next. It really
Okay.
makes no difference, does it?
No. Yeah, I kind of waltz around pretty easily. Jackson does. Looks pretty sure-footed. Doesn't even trip. Just takes it nice and steady. Gets around no problem.
Douglas, would you like the honours?
Why
After
not?
you?
Thank you. I dance
Okay.
across.
Okay, yeah, you move through apps like a professional. Absolutely, really like majorly quick.
Okay.
And you get
Almost
around the other side.
like
no problem
like
at
a
all.
puma in these mountains.
Okay, and then last but not least, yeah, we can call you the Puma from now on.
Stanton.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. No
competent.
problem. Okay, you've made it all round the two areas that are particularly precipitous and dangerous. So the plan is to drop the kit off when the path becomes more navigable, and then go back to get the mules. Is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Yeah, no problem. You don't have to make a roll to get back because you're no longer laden with load of gear, so it's a lot easier to scramble. You can go on all fours, whatever. So if you need to, so yeah, no problem at all. You get hold of the animals and lead them slowly. There is actually an animal handling skill, by the way. Just out of interest.
Is that?
Yeah, it's called
Right.
animal handling. It's on page 57 of this. It's on my character sheet. Have you not got it on yours then?
Not on mine.
No,
No.
I do not.
No,
That's weird.
I have the 40th anniversary character sheet.
Interesting.
Don't think I would have put anything into it
Oh,
anyway.
No, I was going to say, I don't think it's changed.
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, damn it, if I'd have known.
Yeah.
right, so you, following that course of action and being roped together, you manage to lead the mules along the trail comfortably without them kicking up too much of a fuss. And yeah, you navigate past the two pinch points and you're through. Okay.
Load them back up again and continue.
Okay. Can you make a spot hidden roll, please?
Not me.
An extreme success for me. Oh no, was it? Yeah, extreme success.
Okay, Jacob, as you're loading the mules up, kind of moving around on the path, down below you in the valley, the plateau actually, you're obviously quite a lot, you're above it now and looking down on it. You see some movement that catches your eye, and you glance down and you can see the two figures that you saw previously, and now they're actually they've reached the plateau. And it looks like, it's very difficult to see with your naked eye, but it looks like one of them is climbing up the side of the pyramid.
Douglas, can I borrow your binoculars? I think I've seen those Caraceri again.
Yeah, I saw them too. I'll pass over my binoculars.
Have a look, see if I can see anything better with those.
Okay.
We should keep an active eye on them just in case they spot us.
So are they on the other route that they put at the end of it?
Yeah, that's right. They've climbed up they've gone down into the valley, and then they've climbed up the other side of the climb, and yeah, they just arrived at the ruins or the pyramid.
I'll just point them out to everyone else.
Okay, so anybody that's got binoculars, I mean, I guess you've probably all got a pair of binoculars.
Yeah, I'll give them back to Douglas.
Yeah, use your own, man.
I haven't got any.
Yeah, within
If
the
we
kit
don't have our own,
within the kit that you came with, well, there would have been some binoculars. So even if you didn't bring your own, then you'll have some. Okay, so we can all understand. We can all see, and looking out down at the ruins, you can see that the Karasiri that wears the hat and carries the saber at his side. He ascends the steps of the pyramid, and it looks like the steps are pretty high because they're almost as high as he is. He's having to kind of pull himself up each of the steps. So you reckon that they must be about 5 foot high, these steps. And when he gets to the other one, the other Karasiri is behind him. He hasn't hasn't begun ascending the pyramid. He's just kind of crouched down with the body that he was carrying next to him. The one with the hat ascends the pyramid till he gets to the flat top. You notice now that you're closer with your binoculars that he looks like to have a really bloated abdomen, and actually the second one looks similar as well. When the first Karasiri reaches the top, it walks over to what looks like a crack in the stone. There's quite a long crack in the top of the pyramid, the flat top, and it takes his hat off, kneels down, and it begins to vomit a stream of thick white fluid into the hole. This goes on for about a minute or so with flies surrounding the Karasiri, and then once that one's finished, it clambers down, and then you see the second one go and do exactly the same thing, climb up to the top, and like kneel down over the crack at the top of the ruins. And you notice again that each of them looks significantly gaunter once they perform that action.
Okay, I'm quite disgusted by that.
It is absolutely disgusting.
They're feeding whatever's inside or storing it. I mean, are they like some kind of weird mutant bee that go out and bring it back to the hive?
So there's a little baby bird inside. Is that what we're hoping?
Oh yeah, I'm hoping that there is a little nest in there with birds that really, really like human fat.
I've seen some weird shit in my times, but I've never seen anything like that. Jackson turns away and screws up his face. That is disgusting.
What do we do with that? I mean, is the assumption? Are we saying that we find the entrance that the gold was taken from, fit the gold back in, hope that fills up the crack in some magical way, and then?
I think you're right. It's got to be our initial play. We should hope that we can return the protection without getting involved with the Karasiri that were there, and that protection will be sufficient. If that doesn't work,
well, then, well, hopefully we won't have to fight the Karasiri, but we're armed, so if they do stand in the way, we should try to destroy them. But whatever's in the pyramid, I would rather not get too close to it.
No.
Well,
it's just eaten.
Let's hope I can have a nap. Well, if the gold doesn't work, we can always drop the dynamite down the...
Jackson looks at the sky and says, "We've probably got another 3 hours before sunset. It's probably going to take us another maybe half an hour or so to get down there. So I guess we want to push on."
We do, and also we don't really want to be camping out down there. That doesn't sound like a fantastic idea. So let's get moving.
Okay, put your binoculars away. Stomach's churning after witnessing that vile act. You continue along the trail.
Reminds me, I haven't had lunch. Let's go.
I'm just going to shake my head and look away.
Okay, presently then, after maybe another half an hour or so of travelling along the trail, you'll be pleased to know that it does widen now and is less treacherous. Well, they're still relatively steep in places, but the mules don't seem to have much of a problem. and you are now you've made as you've been traveling around the kind of the mountains around the side of the mountain. Obviously, it's afforded you a reasonable view from above of the ruins the whole time. After the incident that you witnessed previously, the Karasi have gone. There's no, you keep glancing, and even if you're using your binoculars now, there's no, there doesn't seem to be any movement within the walled compound that circles the ruins. Which is whether that's pleasing or not, I don't know.
That's pleasing because I hope that they've gone to find more victims and won't be back for a while.
Okay, you
Rather
head.
than know where they are.
You head down the final path, which is quite steep, but it's straight down, and it leads down to the top of the actual plateau itself, where it's very silty and sandy, and then, as I said previously, there is a wall which surrounds the ruins. The wall is. Are you going to go down onto the plateau?
Not yet.
Okay, you're going to stand and kind of look.
Yeah, have a look. This may be the most ridiculous idea that I've had, and I've had a few. Might it be worth using the mask to do a virtual reconnaissance of the pyramid, seeing as we believe that it allows us to remotely see the location? It may be safer than us all walking down there.
Jackson says, "I don't mind if you want." He kind of gets the mask out of his pack and hands it to you. Feel free.
It's a bit of a strange one because it might be a really sensible suggestion, but something about it feels
completely insane and wrong.
Not natural.
As you're discussing this, the wind kind of blows and changes direction momentarily, and you notice that there's really, really strong rotten smell on the air. Like rotten meat. It's really disgusting. And you also notice that there's quite a lot of flies that are in the air above this area, kind of over the wall. And
Which direction is the wind coming from?
In
other words, where is this coming from?
Yeah, you think if you feel like it's coming from like over the far side of the walled area. So beyond the pyramid, you're coming down from the north, and the pyramid is just, you can see above the wall on this side of the compound. So you guess that the wind is kind of blowing it from the south, and it seems to be that's kind of where the stench. But it's difficult, really difficult to tell because it's swirling around the wind a lot, and there, it's not.
I don't think we go and investigate that because that's probably where the Karasiri leave their leftovers.
Wasn't there the story of the creatures who bring disease on the wind?
That is true as well.
Isn't that what Naira told us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Machukuma or something?
Well, we had the Machakuna and then we had the Saku.
Yeah.
Saku were the ones that would eat you. Both bone creatures, though.
I'm also wondering that the wall that we can see, is that of a similar construction or style to the pyramid itself?
Yeah, it seems it is. Looking at it from this side, they're looking at the wall. Stanton, you notice that the wall has lots of small carvings in it, which seems to represent human heads, but they're kind of their faces are thin and elongated with grotesquely distended mouths. With your expertise, you recognise this as being similar to structures that are found in Tiwanaku, over the border in Bolivia. So and it has been mentioned before that it's possible that this was built by the same people that built those settlements. But yeah, you do think that that they, looking at it, you think they were built at the same time.
Yeah, I think we should maybe use our scarves to cover our mouths and noses, so if there is disease on the wind, it doesn't, maybe a little protected.
Yeah,
good idea. Yeah, we'll do that.
Okay, yeah,
we could
that's a good idea.
Douse them in something, vinegar,
petrol,
to try to restrict any of the malaise that we might get. I was hoping that the wall may have been built by the local and that's where the gold would fit.
I seem to remember they said that it was in a tunnel, didn't they? Wasn't that the...
Yeah.
It did a structure of underground tunnels.
Yeah, the gold is... we think that the gold is underground because it makes some sort of ward that kind of keeps something in.
Is there any obvious way into the pyramid?
Yeah.
Not from where you can see. It's difficult for you to tell that though because the wall is obscuring your view. You can only really see the top of the pyramid because the wall's about at this point is about 9-10 feet high. When you went back, when you were coming down from the higher part of the path, there was no obvious door. You get the impression that the pyramid may actually be that what you can see above ground is actually only part of the structure. Douglas, you've got the mask in your hand, by the way. No. Well, actually, Jackson offered it to you as to whether you took it.
I took it. I did take it. Yeah. Well, you both have tried it already. You said it was a discomforting feeling, but nothing untoward.
Well, I saw this place.
It
Lex
didn't
didn't see
really do
anything.
anything. It didn't really work for me. I didn't see what.
Jackson, did you stay still to look at the pyramid, or did you move? Were you able to move when you had the mask on? As in, move within the vision that you saw?
No, I didn't feel like I could move, but I did feel like I could. I think I mentioned I could hear. It was it wasn't just a vision. It was definitely, and I could smell as well.
Okay, I'm going to put it on.
Okay. Can you make a percentile roll for me then, please? Tell me what you get.
Okay. 83.
Okay.
Don't like high rolls.
There's definitely something up with roll 20. That came up as 68 on the screen, but 83 on the right-hand side.
Oh, really?
Yeah. See that too.
Yeah, what is
This
that?
one.
That's weird.
So my dice say something different, do they?
Yeah, dice said... Roll it again then, let's see what happens.
Mine says 80. It says 83 on my screen.
Yeah, but on the actual dice on the screen,
No, on the actual dice. Okay, what that say to you?
Right.
63.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Both of them are the same there.
Weird.
Okay. Right. Okay. Well, so what? So the actual roll was 83 then, yeah?
Yeah.
That's what you rolled, yeah. Okay. Douglas, you feel as you put the mask on, you obviously have to hold it on your face because there's no way of. You put the mask on and you feel like the hairs on the back of your neck begin to stand up, and you can it feels like. Well, you're looking in the mirror, really. That's why you don't necessarily need to put it on. You're actually just looking at the mirror back of the mask. You feel like the mirror. You see yourself obviously initially, but then weird kind of shapes begin to form. Your reflection becomes out of focus, and you're trying to look beyond your reflection, something else that you can see behind that. But sadly, it kind of just fades away, and you're left just kind of staring at yourself.
Okay. Doesn't appear to work for me. Maybe you need to have a certain attunement, perhaps, or be sensitive
Would you like me to try?
Why not?
Okay, you're going to look into the mirror? Okay. Make a roll then, please. See, it says on the screen, it says 75, and it says 88 on the...
88. That is very odd.
Well, let's just go with I think we go with the dice that are on the screen rather than what's on the right-hand side. So is that 50? That's 75, isn't it? Yeah.
I was going to say I'm happy to go with the chat roll because it takes so long for the dice to come up.
I can't always see the dice.
Although, the chat is actually more reliable.
Okay, we'll go with the chat roll.
Roll the dice are graphical glitches. Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with the chat roll, which is 88. Yeah. Okay, Stanton, you're sorry.
The dice do say 88 for me on the screen.
They say 75 for everybody else. That's weird.
Yeah.
Okay, Stanton, you have a similar experience to what I described for Douglas, in as much as you feel like you start off just looking at your reflection. There is something else. It's not just your reflection. There's something else. And you kind of it's really frustrating because you feel like you should be able to see something, but you can't, and then it just kind of fades away in the background. And like you do feel like your heart is racing and your kind of hair's up on end for some reason.
Well, we know it has effects, but it's not working for me either.
I don't.
Jackson, Jacob, Lex.
Well, the only one who hasn't tried it is Jacob, and we know that it works for Jackson.
I kind of want to. I don't want it to be just me that can use this thing, so I wouldn't mind if Jacob could have a look. 16, and the dice were right as well. Okay. I'm
going to try swatting away flies whilst he's doing this.
Okay, Jacob, You begin by staring at your reflection, and then the rest of you watching Jacob, you see his face suddenly contort in horror, and his eyes widen. His face goes white as you see him staring with utter fear at something in the mirror.
If it turns into something more than fear, I'll pull the mask away from him. But if he just looks scared, we'll just wait.
You still there, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you hear me say that I sent you a message on Discord?
Where is it? Sorry. It flashed up on screen and then disappeared before I got the chance to read it.
In the chat on Discord.
Got it. Sorry, found it.
Yes,
yeah.
That's right.
I'm going to rip the mask off.
Okay. You see, also you pull the mask away. You don't really wear it. You kind of just hold it in front of you because it's a mirror on one side, so you just have to look. Okay, so Jacob turns his head away, and as I said, you can see his face is white. His eyes, his eyes are wide.
Assumed that it worked, and what you saw wasn't great.
That was terrifying. The pyramid broke apart from underneath the ground, with stone was flying everywhere, and what emerged was huge, greasy white tendrils dripping with maggots reaching out from underneath the splintered pyramid. Oh, it was terrifying. Is this what the Caraceri are trying to bring into being?
So, when we looked at it before, we had a question about whether it was just a place or whether it was a time as well. We seem to have an answer. Now, did you see the past or did you see the future?
Or what might be, or what it desires.
We can't allow that to come into being. It was hideous.
So we are slightly wiser, but also none the wiser. Let's not wear that again.
Yeah, I think you might be right. It's something. It doesn't feel right.
Right.
But it has a certain power.
Is this what the gold was keeping in?
Keeping in, yes. If the legends are true, and everything we've seen so far suggests that they're not just legends. We need
with that realization dawning upon you, Jacob, can you make a sanity roll, please?
Yes.
Okay. It doesn't appear you give a shit about that.
Yeah, well.
It's been worse.
You refuse to believe that it's actually real, and so yeah, your mind just doesn't compute it, which is good.
What's the time now?
It's about 4:30. You got about another 2 hours worth of, about 2 3/4 hours worth of daylight.
Right. Let's just take what we need for a reconnaissance: firearms, the gold.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing that were too weighed down.
And the dynamite.
Some rope and some dynamite, and let's tie up the mules.
Yeah, there's where the path comes down from the rocky, the rocky kind of cliffside. Path comes down, and then it levels out onto the plateau. There is an area, a flat area around before you get to the wall of probably about 15 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So reasonably large area that you can find somewhere to kind of. And actually, the good thing about that is that they will be, unless somebody came down the top path, they wouldn't be able to see the mules.
Excellent. Okay, well, we'll do that, and we'll tie the rope round a rock, or
if we got
something.
some stakes,
a stake.
To hammer into the ground to tie them up.
Okay, you can notice when you kind of tying the donkeys up, mules up, you notice that on the wind now, as well as the kind of, is a really, really faint piping sound. You can only hear it now and then. It sounds, it's almost like you have to kind of stop and think, is it actually real? But it's so faint that you will hear it. You can, and it's definitely there, but only every now and again. It seems to be emanating from the walls. You've all got your neckerchiefs or whatever tied around your mouths and faces, didn't you? Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. Well, okay.
We need to move quickly. Just want out of here.
So, from your current vantage point, you can only see. I mean, you're on one side of the compound, the northern side. You can see. So you got there doesn't seem to be any. Well, there isn't an entrance, an obvious entrance in the wall here. So the only option you've really got is to either climb over the wall or try, or go round the side of the compound and see whether there's any other way of getting in.
How high was the wall again?
It varies. So on this side, the lowest is about 8 foot high. So you should be able to climb that fairly relatively easily.
Go over the wall.
Shall I
Okay.
go up there and have a look at least, a better vantage point?
Okay. There are kind of banks of dirt and silt that have also been blown up against the wall as well, which makes it both easier and harder in some ways, because it obviously makes the wall lower effectively, but also it's quite, you put your feet into the silt and they sink right down. So, but yeah, you managed to kind of pull yourself up to have a look. Are you just going to have a look over the wall before you try and clamber over?
How wide's the top of the wall? Was it just a
Not
sort of
particularly. It's just a couple of bricks. Yeah, it's not. Very
Oh yeah,
not
I'll have a
yeah.
peek over first then, rather than
Okay.
just
Can you?
get
Okay,
right
so
on
you
top of
basically
it.
you're pulling yourself up with both hands and then just trying to peek over the top. So
Yeah.
can you make a spot hidden roll for me, please?
No.
Okay. No, you don't. Other than the ruins that are pretty much directly in front of you from your vantage point, so that you can see the stepped pyramid, which is no more than about 10 yards on the other side of the wall. That kind of looms in front of you, so it's difficult really to see anything much past that, because it's taking up the majority of what you can see. You don't see any movement or anything, and you don't see any obvious entrance to the pyramid from on this side either. You do, however, see a large cloud of flies that are still gathered at the top of the pyramid, and that, even though you've got the stuff over your face, you can tell that the rancid smell is, now that you've kind of not got the protection in the wall any longer, it's even stronger, and it makes you gag.
But if we go over the wall, will we be able to get around to the other side of the pyramid?
Yeah. Yep.
Or alternatively, we can stay this side of the wall, go around the outside of the wall, and get back over it.
Yeah. Exactly that. Yeah.
Like the idea of keeping the wall between us and the pyramid.
Yeah, maybe go around it and have a peek over it periodically, just to scope the place out.
Okay. So from your current location, are you going to go east or west to go around the wall? East would going from where you are now. If you went east, so i.e. left from where you're currently standing, that will take you out towards the front of the plateau. Whereas if you went west, which is to the right, will take you to the back of the plateau, where there's like a sheer cliff.
It's gonna be down the sheer cliff, isn't it? The entrance.
No, sorry. The sheer cliff goes up behind it.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah. So basically, if you took the bottom path, so if you'd gone down into the valley where the Karasiri went, you'd end up coming up at the front of the plateau.
Right.
But behind the plateau, at the back of it, is like a sheer cliff that goes up. Okay?
Right. Okay.
So if we go one way, will we go to where they were vomiting up the white
they were vomiting up on top of the pyramid, which is directly in front of you. On top of the pyramid, on the flat surface, on the top of the ziggurat, there is you could see like there's a massive crack, and that's where they were vomiting into.
See, hence the flies.
Yeah, exactly.
Our best guess is down, though, is it not?
Yeah.
So I mean, you're really just looking at whether you try and get into the compound over the wall here, or whether you go round it. Like you said, you guess that since there's a path that was leading up from the valley floor, like a kind of a trail that the Karasiri climbed up, you'd guess that maybe the entrance is probably at the front of the plateau. That would be the logical place for it to be.
Yeah, let's try that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're definitely not going over the wall. You're coming back the other side, and you've left the mules behind.
Yeah.
Okay. You head around the front of the plateau. As you skirt around the walls, you notice that all of the walls are inlaid with those similar carvings. And actually, as you go around the front, in the centre of the front wall is looks like to be a rectangular entrance, made of weathered stone, obviously. And then above the entrance is a carving of a bigger carving of an elongated human head, very similar to the ones that are set into the wall, but this one's a lot bigger. So it's an archway, effectively, with this elongated human head atop it. And through there, give you a really good view of the 5-step pyramid with the flat top. There also appears to be like a network of crumbling and collapsed inner walls inside the compound that suggests that there were previously other buildings and things in there, but they've long since seen better days. There are piles of silt blown into dunes as well within the compound.
We head through.
Yeah, okay. You're going to go through?
Mm-hmm.
Who's going through the archway first? Or are you going to go through? It's quite wide, so you can go through.
I'll go first.
Okay. As you approach the archway, you notice that the kind of weird piping sound that you heard before. It seems to come from the mouth of the figure that's carved above the archway, and you kind of look at it and you realise that it's the wind's kind of just blowing through the mouth of the carving, making a really odd noise. That's where that kind of whistling, piping sound is coming from. You can only hear it when the wind's blowing in a certain direction. It's swirling around. Okay, you step into the compound. Directly in front of you, you can see the ziggurat, so the 5-stepped pyramid. You've got to the right of you is where you can see the wall where you were standing on the other side of previously, where you just looked over. On top of the ziggurat, you can see a cloud of flies. To the left of you, you can also see another area. There seems to be some sort of pit down a slope, and there's a huge amount of flies above that as well, even more than above the ziggurat. And next to and around the pit, there are other walls that have kind of fallen and crumbled into pretty much nothingness. From here, you can't see any obvious entrance to the ziggurat either. It looks like, as I said, it's been buried in the sill, or it might even be, you have a feeling that this could literally just be the tip of the iceberg here, and it might be a lot bigger than this.
So I think there's maybe a possibility that it's been covered in the intervening years between conquistadors. Yeah.
Certainly that certainly happened with the silt that's blown up against its sides, but also you have a feeling that, bearing in mind that you knew about the fact there were tunnels as well, there's probably stuff below it. But there doesn't seem to be any, other than the pit that you can see off to your left. There isn't really any other obvious way to go into the ziggurat or down under it, because there's just so much silt and sand, silt and dust that's blowing around there. It's really hard to see anything.
Well, perhaps we have a quick look one side and then the other to see if there are any collapsed entrances that we can get down easily. I'm thinking we may have to cut this reconnoitre short in order to get away from here, just to spend the night and come back tomorrow.
Okay, you're gonna have a search around. Where the northern part of the compound is the part that where the ziggurat is, and the southern part of the compound is where it slopes down, and that's where that kind of pit is that I mentioned earlier, with a load of flies over it. So whereabouts are you going to look first, or you going to split up, or what do you want to do?
Can we circle around the pyramid? So do a circuit of it.
Yeah, you can do a full circuit around it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll stick together for sure.
Yeah.
Step of the fly pit first. If we have to go that way, move in the opposite direction, do you think?
Yeah, that's the last place we want to look first.
Yes.
Okay.
Find somewhere else first. I'm all for it.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. I need a spot hidden roll from you all, then, please.
Okay.
See,
Oh,
I had an extreme success.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
No success for me.
no.
Okay.
Nor me. Jacob's an investigating machine.
Jacob, you're heading to the kind of circling around the ziggurat, and you notice that you uncover at its base, under the silt. You're kind of scuffing the silt away with your feet. Suddenly, you see a flagstone that is set into the ground, and lo and behold, there's actually another one quite close to it as well. Now, the flagstones, they're not actually flush with the ground. They're actually, as you kind of clear away more of the silt and dust, it looks like it's kind of been placed on top of something, like it's almost like the lid of maybe a shaft, for example.
Gentlemen, look at this. Lex, do you think you might be able to move that?
I can certainly try.
Okay, can you
Go down, get my hands around the. Is it wide enough I can get it either edge?
Yeah, can you make a strength roll?
Yep.
I'll take out my torch, ready to shine it in the hole.
Okay, it's really, really, really heavy. So, and it's you can't really get any proper purchase on it. So it keeps slipping with the dust and everything that's on it. Jackson says that here, Lex, try this, and he hands you like a little gemmy that he's got.
Can I use this jemmy to push?
I would use it to lever.
Ha ha, you know what I mean.
Yeah, that made all the difference.
Yes, I went from rolling 93 to rolling 6. It was definitely the jemmy that did it.
I think you must
Okay,
have
you-
loosened it on the first try.
yeah.
You pick it up
As soon
with
as
one hand and throw it away.
As soon as you get the gemmy under it, and you're able to get purchase, you can easily slide it away, and yeah, it reveals a vertical shaft which is about 3 foot wide, 3 foot square. Like it's almost like a chimney. You look down, you can see that it's like it's bricked all the way down into the darkness. You've obviously got a torch, I presume.
Yep, I was shining it now.
Okay, you shine it. I mean, obviously the light falls in anyway, so that you can see that the shaft seems to descend about 15 feet before it ends in a. You can see that like a floor. There's definitely like some sort of chamber at the bottom of it.
Well, there's certainly a way in. Should we go and have a look now, or keep searching around for an easier way to walk in?
Jackson kind of says, "Hey, there's one of those over here too, and this one ain't got a flagstone on it. I almost fell into it." And he points to he moved some rocks away, and he's found like a similar hole.
We should use this one because if the conquistadors made their way in, it wouldn't be sealed, and that one we've just opened was sealed. So that's not where we want to put the gold. Let's try the other one.
It's excellent logic.
Yeah, it is. If logic still works in this hell-forsaken place. Okay, hold on a sec. Right. I've given you, on roll 20, you should now be able to see a map.
Yep.
Yes.
So, you came down in the north part, okay? Then if you look to the east, you can see where the gate is.
Yeah.
And then if you look at where the ziggurat is, you have just opened on the kind of zigzaggy bit on the southeast side of the ziggurat. There are two squares. One is more northerly than the other, and that's where you pulled that one open. And then if you go directly northeast from there, there's like a black hole. That's where the other one without the top is.
Right.
Down in the southern part of the compound, which kind of slopes away, in the southeast corner, you can see the pit that I referred to.
Right.
Yeah.
And then lots of other walls.
Right, the pit where we're definitely not going. That crack.
Yeah.
Does that the one on the top where they were feeding?
Correct.
Is there, from what we can see where we're standing next to the hole, is there a crack there as well? There appears to be from the map.
Where are you talking about?
So you see the little black hole in the north.
Yeah.
To the
that's kind of just like a little fault in the rock.
right. Okay.
So it's not actually part of the building. That.
Okay. It doesn't look like it doesn't look like it's cracked as a result of anything. It's just natural.
Yeah, exactly. So the only kind of unnatural crack is that, like I said, the one that you can see on the top of the.
Right. Okay. Gentlemen, I think this is where we enter.
The one Jackson found is further away from the pyramid than the one which was capped. Is that right?
Yeah. The one that Jackson found is just black with no cap on it in the northeast part, and then so the one that was capped is right next. All the ones that are capped are all right next to the.
Yeah.
There's actually another one as well in the middle of the courtyard sort of area as well, but you haven't been down there yet.
Yeah. How deep's the hole? Looking
15
down?
feet.
Okay.
So these Karasiri that we saw earlier, they've gone back through the wall and headed off across
we
the
don't
plain.
know. We think.
We don't know where they've gone because we didn't see them. So they could have just gone back where they came, hopefully, or they may still be lurking somewhere here. But they're certainly not, as far as we can see, they're certainly not in this kind of overground part of the compound, unless they're in the pit. That's the only bit we've not looked at. I mean, there's a few walls in that southern part you haven't looked at behind either. But for the last kind of part of your journey, having a bird's eye view of this, you didn't see any movement.
Well, should we head into the pit? Not the pit, the shaft, rather.
Yes, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. It's the normal question.
Who's going down first? Well, we need to first set up.
Can I just suggest that before we, if there are several ways in here, I mean, it does talk about lots of underground tunnels in Rizzo's translation. I wonder if we ought to rig up ropes to enable us to escape out of any of them
So
before we go down one of them.
Oh, yes, I see.
that's a very
So
good idea.
That's a very good
multiple
idea.
escape routes.
Yeah. So, what do we think? All the ones that are capped, or including the one that I found in the this open one as well?
Well, the open one, we want to go in an ideal world. We'll go down this particular shaft that's already open, find a very nice matching gap in a nice golden wall, slot that in, and we just get away, and that's that. So definitely want to go down this one.
Yeah.
But I agree that if things go horribly wrong, or we end up going further in to the temple complex, we should definitely set up multiple escape routes. So we open every cap we can find, and we set up ropes in all of them.
Okay, that sounds like a good plan to me. But we need to
Very
do it
good plan.
quick.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go and retrieve as much rope as you can from the pack mules. Yeah. So and leaving behind, are you gonna take all of the caps off?
Yes.
How many are there?
We'll have to keep searching around until we find them all.
Yeah. You found there's 5 that have got the capstone on. Now that you know that they're here, they're easy to find.
Okay.
And there's the one that Jackson found that hasn't got. There is a stone there that's broken in half and just lied next to it. So there are 6 altogether. Is the answer to your question? So you got 6 lots of 15 foot. They all drop down to exactly the same, and they all seem they're made in a uniform manner.
So we've got one that was with the broken, one that I've opened. So we've got 4 we need to get busy on.
Yeah.
I'll move to the next one and try to lift it up.
Okay. Make a roll then, please.
That is a success.
Cool. That's that one done then. Next one. You get a bonus die actually with this. I should have mentioned that previously because you're now using the crowbar and you've done it several times.
Okay, that's a success.
So while Lex is doing that, I'll start setting up a rope to go down.
Okay.
And 2 more successes.
So you managed. Okay. So you managed. So all of them have been decapped, as it were. So how are you going to fasten the rope? Are you at this end?
I think if they are they going to be heavy enough that if we could loop the rope around the capstone, tie it, and then use the weight of the capstone?
Yeah, that would work because they're pretty heavy.
Yeah. Loop it around, tie it, and then put the capstone down so the rope is underneath it. So you've got the weight and a bit of a knot.
Absolutely. Okay.
And because the shafts extend a bit above the ground, that would at least hopefully stop the capstone from sliding over across it.
Can I get you all to make a luck roll, please?
Luck, is it?
Yeah.
Well, I'm feeling lucky.
I'm feeling lucky.
I'm not. I'm worried about these flies.
Okay, so can we have some detail about did anybody get what sort of successes do we get?
Normal.
Okay. Does everybody pass apart from Stanton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is the case. Oh dear. Poor old Stanton. Stanton, because previously you were everybody was wandering around the compound trying to find the rest of the capstones, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Which you were involved with as well. Unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you want to look at it, you kind of walked a lot closer to the pit in the southeastern corner than you anticipated, which afforded you a view of actually you were looking around for capstones, and you managed to offer yourself a glimpse of the pit, which contains it seems to be piled up with bodies, corpses, skeletons, in various stages of decay. They're literally just piled high in there, and you unfortunately you feel your stomach churn. Can you make a sanity roll, please?
Why did I do that? I knew it was going to be full of bodies. Why did I look?
We didn't do it on purpose.
Help yourself, can you?
So, I was trying to look away as well.
It was just bad luck, Stanton. That's what it was. That's the pass, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a pass.
Okay.
Second roll I've made tonight.
Okay, can you make a spot hidden roll for me?
Here it comes.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
okay, so not only do you get, so is that a normal success?
That's a hard success.
Okay, you notice, not only do you notice the bodies, but beneath the bodies you also notice the glint of gold and you also see what appears to be some sort of tunnel entrance, which leads away from the pit. Obviously, you don't, you're not like looking at it for ages. You're turning away in disgust, but your sharp eyes afforded you that as you.
Says a tunnel entrance.
Yeah,
like
so the
like
pit,
another one of these shafts.
like in the bottom. Well, you reckon
in the corner of the pit.
Down in the pit, there's actually a tunnel that runs away from the pit side, and you also saw a glint of gold there as well.
Is the tunnel running towards the pyramid or away from?
Yeah, you can't really tell. You didn't really
There's
spend
a tunnel
that much
somewhere.
Yeah. What I will tell you is you think it's over this side here. Once you can't see my ping. It's in the west wall. The west wall of the
okay. Right.
The pit. Okay.
When I'm back with the others, I'll tell them what I saw.
The one that you noticed that the one body that kind of that drew your attention there in the first place, which is right near the top of the pit, has been. It looks very similar to the one that you saw being carried by the Carasiri across through your binoculars when you're looking at it.
So that's why they're dumping them.
Lex, you've managed to get all of the capstones off, and so you're quickly fastening all the ropes around, so you're kind of pretty much done with that as well. We've got about an hour, just over an hour's light. Well, an hour before sundown. I mean, obviously it doesn't get dark at sundown, but the light's going to start to fade. I don't really want to be stuck here at night, if possible.
Well,
truth be told, I don't want to be stuck here at all.
If what you saw is exactly what you saw, then the entrance that we're seeking is in the pit.
Well, I saw a glint of gold. I'm not saying it was like the detective piece here.
No, but we haven't seen any other gold, have we? So it would also seem logical that they would maybe cast bodies down into an area where they themselves don't want to go, because they'd obviously avoid that area.
Did you say, Stanton, that you thought the tunnel went west from the pit?
I think so. I couldn't really tell.
Or would it be useful to go down the shaft that's nearest that, the one that's nearest the archway?
And the gold, as I said, I don't know if it was the protected piece. Maybe it was just gold rings they were wearing.
Yeah, I think Jacob has got a good idea there.
Go down one and hope that it turns. That they join and come at it from the other direction.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be camping out here. I think we should just press on.
Right, let's go. Let's do that. It's a plan.
It's not as if daylight's going to help us down there.
Well, we've got a choice of two plans. And we go down, like you said, or we go into the pit. And I don't think anybody particularly wants to go into the pit.
To get Stanton, it's pretty sure to get down to the tunnel, you'd have to actually literally crawl through the corpses that are in there.
Yeah, that's a surefire way to
that's not happening.
Catch something nasty. Right, let's go. We need to move.
Okay. So you're going to go down the tunnel that's in front of the chimney that's in front of the entrance. So who's going to go down first? The rope is obviously in place.
I'll go first.
Okay.
I'll go second. I put on my head torch.
Nice. Look at you. Okay. Okay. Lex, you head down the rope. It doesn't take you very long. It's only a 15-foot drop. So you find yourself in a square chamber, which is a small, literally, at the bottom of the shaft. It is a square chamber with a further tunnel exiting from that square chamber, and you can see it sloping down into the way into the darkness. It's sloping down at possibly like a 60-degree slope, so it's pretty steep. And it descends for as far as you can see.
Have I joined him?
Yep, you come down behind him.
Okay, I'll look down. That looks like something that we should probably have a rope for as well.
Yeah, it is pretty precipitous.
Okay.
Can we work out which direction it goes in comparison to where the pyramid is?
It goes. Yeah, it goes south.
So toward the pit.
Towards the pit.
Yeah, correct. Okay, so are you all going to go down to the bottom? It's actually too small for you all to fit in. With Douglas and Lex in the room at the bottom of the chimney. There's not really any more room at this stage.
Okay, so we need to decide which way we're going to head on before the others join us.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to head down south.
Yeah.
Well,
You can see the rest. You look up. You can see the rest of them. The rest of your colleagues obviously standing at the top of the shaft,
I'll
looking down at you.
describe.
What do you need?
Right. Well, I've got rope. I've got. But we chuck some extra down. I'm going to knock a stake of some description into the rock.
Okay.
So that
Have
we can.
You got something that you could knock it in with?
Well, I would hope that we have gear for that.
Yeah, you did. You brought some of that with you, didn't you? You brought hammers and stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You knock in a stake and
A bit on
tie the rope off. Yeah. Iron spike.
Yeah, I was trying to avoid saying that.
Okay. You secure the rope in the bottom of the shaft, and then is Lex, you going down first?
Yeah. I'll head down first.
Okay.
When we've both call back up. Once we've both headed down, you two come down into the chamber, and then we'll call to say what's down further.
Okay. You head down into the sloping passageway then, Lex. And using the rope, it's really easy. You're glad that you've got the rope there because it would have been quite difficult without it. You get to the bottom of the sloping passageway, and you find yourself in a tunnel which is it's only about 4 foot high and 10 foot wide, and the floors are covered in dust, broken fragments of stone, and also what looked to be splintered bone as well. There is an overpowering smell of decay here. Can I get you to make a Constitution roll with a bonus die for having your neckerchief tied around your face that you also did earlier?
So I'm going to need this bonus die. Yes, I can offer you a hard success.
Okay. So despite the overpowering smell of decay, you managed to steel yourself against the nausea that momentarily threatens to overcome you. The air, again, here is filled with flies. You can hear strange bass rumblings, another quite alien and dreadful sounds. It seems to be from the kind of north and west of you. You don't know what the noises are. You don't know what the sounds are. There's things you've never heard the likes of before. It's almost like the earth itself is groaning. The passageway that you're in is a straight passageway. It runs. You can see at the far end of the north of you is what looks like a T-junction, probably about 15 yards away from you. And then south, where the flies are heaviest, you can see the passageway turns a corner. You look at the walls here; they're just made of big stone slabs, but there's no sign of any kind of warding or anything golden or anything like that you might be looking for. Are you coming down as well?
I'm waiting to hear for him to call up.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah, I will call up and warn him to make sure his neckerchief's in place and that it's pretty tight down here, but there's space for both of us.
Okay, right. I'll call back up and say I'm going down. You two might want to come down and describe what Lex said.
I'll head down next.
Okay. So Douglas, going down the steep corridor, you've got the rope to use with no problem. So once you get to the bottom and say you start to become embroiled in the overpowering smell of decay that's even stronger than it was above ground, can you make a con roll? You get a bonus die though.
And while I'm waiting, I'm going to fish around in my medical kit for a bottle of vinegar. Maybe put that over my neckerchief and anyone else that's still up.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of medical kit do you have that's got vinegar in it?
I often use vinegar for disinfecting things.
Why don't you use disinfectant like a normal doctor?
Okay, anyway, what did you get?
I got a hard success.
You got a hard success, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, again, you steel yourself against the overpowering stench, and you're now down with Lex. So it's a wide corridor that you're standing in. It's 10 feet wide, but it's only 4 foot high. So you're literally kind of having to crouch down.
What kind of bizarre people created something this shape?
You have to kind of step quite carefully as well because there's quite a lot of broken stone, splintered bone, and other detritus on the floor, and you can also hear the really unnerving bass rumbling sounds that seem to be coming from the kind of northwest of you. So if you
that sound like coming from the pyramid.
Yeah, exactly that. I was about to say that. You would guess that that's where the That's where the sound is coming from. Underneath the pyramid, you guess.
I get my compass out. It's
Mhm.
working fine down here, I assume.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yep.
So we want to try and head south from here then. We'll make our way.
So you looking at where you are, south, you would say would take you directly towards where the that pit is.
Right.
You're coming down rather than Jacob. Yep.
Yeah.
So
Are there
you come
any
down
loose rocks down?
You come down.
Yeah. Are there any loose rocks around?
Yeah, there's loads of loose rocks around everywhere.
As I go, I'm just going to scrape onto the floor an arrow pointing, as in back to where we came out, just in case we get turned around or lost. Just every so often, every 10 foot or so.
Okay, Jacob, can you make a con roll then, please, as you come down the passageway?
That's a yes.
Super. Okay, and then Stanton, you as well. And Jackson's going to bring up the rear. I get a bonus die. Oh dear. Oh, that's a 0. That's good.
What were we rolling against, probably?
I rolled. No, that was
You-
against con, so I rolled an 07.
You get a bonus die though, Stanton.
Yeah, you can
Need
get a
it.
bonus die if you failed. Because that's just stopped me from throwing up everywhere, or Jackson even.
And a vinegar bonus that? Did that help anymore?
I don't think so. I'm going to give you just one for that. I can't stretch it. It's a 2 bonus
Okay.
die for that.
Yeah, so the 2, just to confirm, the 2 does come off the 10s, doesn't it?
For 10s, yeah. Bonus die is always for 10s, yeah. Okay, so you've all managed to get down into this very low corridor. It's a 10-foot wide corridor, so there's plenty of room for the 5 of you, but you all crouch down because it's only 4 foot high. And you can all hopefully hear the kind of weird rumblings that seem to be coming from the direction of the pyramid. And then to the south, you can see clouds of flies. The stench over here is overpowering. To the north is a T-junction by what you can see with your torches.
And it's that way toward the pyramid, is it? North. Yeah.
Yeah.
Should we head that way?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry to turn this into D&D, but it's kind of it's a 10-foot wide corridor. So, so in terms of the 5 of us, how are we going to set up? I managed to set up without saying marching order. Okay, so the 2 at the front. So was that Lex and Douglas at the front then, as we were then, and then Jacob and Stanton then followed with Jackson bringing up the rear. Yeah. Okay.
What's our formation? We have to say.
Yeah, I think torch in my left hand and handgun in my right. I think.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, everybody's got their gun out, have they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have a rummage in my backpack and pull out a sawn-off shotgun.
Oh, nice.
Presumably that's not that much rummaging. That's quite a significant item to be had.
It's sawn off.
Oh.
I know it's in here somewhere. Maybe it's in one of the pockets. Okay. Right, you're heading off north along the tunnel. Okay, you get to the T-junction at the top. The corridor extends east, as I said, and it seems to open out into a chamber after about 30 feet or so. But the western corridor, as you shine your torch down it, is of more interest, Lex and Douglas, because you're at the front. It extends quite a long, it must be a good, probably more than 100 feet. And after about 10 feet from where you are currently standing, you can see that the southern wall is inlaid in a continuous fashion with gold and exactly the same shape and style as the piece that you have. Limestone deposits and dust do kind of have hid much of it and take away its luster, but you can see it quite easily on the south. Yeah.
Right.
Excellent.
There's also another about 10 feet along to the west, along that corridor. There's another corridor that goes south. So looking at it and kind of trying to, can I get you to make a knowledge roll, please? A no roll. Don't tell me you haven't got that on your character sheet either.
Oh, I've got it. It just took me a second to find it. I've got it.
Oh,
Good.
yes.
I have got a success, a normal success.
Excellent.
Me too.
Right. So you're both in agreement that if you see youth, you're kind of looking around, and actually you notice that above you, as you actually get to the T-junction, above you there's also a shaft, which another one of the tunnels that come down. So you reckon there's another entrance to the chimneys above. So if you look at the map of above ground, where you think you are now is where the open shaft is, where Jackson found.
Oh, okay.
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 So, and that this western corridor that you can see that heads away west, directly west from there. You reckon that after about 10 feet or so, 15 feet, it literally then hugs the wall of that northern part of the ziggurat.
Okay.
And you reckon that the south corridor would then go down that part of the ziggurat as well? Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it looks like there's corridors that actually go all the way around the ziggurat, and it seems that that's where the golden inlay is.
Right. So it's actually the inlays up against the pyramid itself.
Yeah, it's actually if there's a corridor literally ran immediately north of where the wall is.
Mm-hmm.
It's on the south wall. So yeah, the actual it's almost like a but yeah, if you think that it's holding something in, then that's almost effectively what it is doing.
Yeah,
it's a barrier around the outside.
Perimeter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we need to follow it around until we can find the gap, don't we?
Yeah. So how are we still 4 foot high?
Yeah, you're still 4 foot high. Yeah.
Yeah. So okay.
Let's move forward then.
Move forward. Yeah.
Okay.
Slow and steady.
Don't like that rumbling.
Quite unnerving, isn't it? As you start moving along that wall, like I mentioned, so you're going to ignore the corridor that goes south, and you're just going to carry on along the top part of it. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
The rumbling sound that you can hear, it actually feels like it's coming from the other side of the wall, and at certain points it feels like the wall is actually almost like the whole kind of wall is vibrating. There's something. It just feels like there's something in that in that section that's just really quite. That's all it feels like. As to what the hell it is, you got no idea. But
I think we've got an idea.
Okay. Jacob and Stanton, can I get you to roll a spot hidden for me, please?
Okay.
Oh, that's 100. That's
That's a fumble.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Okay. And Stanton, what did you get?
Just out of the corner of my eye, I spotted something.
Okay. So
Sneaked in.
as you're going around the corner at the top of the T-junction, Jacob is already just slightly ahead of you, so he's turned left and is heading after the other two. But Stanton, you happen to glance down the corridor to the right. Just as you do so, you see a wild-haired, feral Karasiri come piling out of the room. It's the one that's wearing the wide-brimmed hat and brandishing a saber. You're completely unaware of this, Jacob, because you got your back to him. So you had your gun out, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Gun and torch. I will shout an alarm, Karasiri, and then shoot at it.
Okay, because you had your gun out and you made the spot hidden roll, then you fire first as it lunges towards you. Okay, so how many shots are you firing?
2.
Okay.
Says normal attack, or do I get minuses?
So how close? I'm just trying to work out how close he is. So yeah, he's going to be point blank range. So you get a bonus die for that. Let me just check everything else. You're kind of crouching down, which makes it a bit more difficult.
Well, I'll shoot 3 times if I can.
Okay.
He's running towards me. I'm just going to blast.
You're going to shoot 3 times. Okay, you get a bonus die for being point blank range, but you get 2 penalty dice for shooting 3 times. So you've actually got 1 penalty die. Okay.
For each shot.
Yeah, you roll. Yeah, you got 3 shots. And you got 1 penalty die on each.
Okay, I'll do that in turn with a penalty on each one.
Okay, yeah, roll the first one then. What'd you get?
78, and the penalty of that.
Okay, yeah, penalty die.
That'll be
got 78 that's the miss anyway for you, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, the second shot then.
Oh, was a hit.
A hit.
Okay, if it's a hit, and the penalty die allowed it to be a hit as well, yeah.
The penalty would add 3 to the 10s. would it?
Yes,
Isn't it
31.
31
So-
instead of 11?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
So I thought it was adding. Okay,
Penalty
so
die
that's
just replaces the other die if it's worse.
replaces. I thought it was added to
No.
subtracting.
Okay,
So
so you
that's a
hit
normal
with
hit.
that shot. Okay,
And then the third one.
yeah. How'd you get with that?
Yay. Penalty die is coming. It's on its way.
8.
So
That was a miss.
yeah. That
Okay,
was
so
a miss.
you got
So I
one
hit with
hit
the
out.
second.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay,
so
so
the damage,
you roll your
damages.
Yeah.
6.
Right, the bullet thunks into the Karasir's chest. You see his wide, feral eyes with bloodshot and bestial. His kind of mouth pulled back in a bestial snarl, but he just doesn't really seem to take any notice of being shot and just tries to stab you with his sword. I'm going to see whether. Hold on a second. I need to make a spot hidden roll for Jackson. Oh dear. Okay, Jackson didn't see the Karasiri either. So it lunges towards you with. So what? You can either try and dodge out of the way, or you can fight back. What are you going to do?
I will try to.
Fighting back basically involves a physical, like brawling, basically.
I'll try to dodge.
Okay. So you need to make a dodge roll, please.
Oh,
Oh dear. So that's not a success, is it?
No.
No.
fall into his embrace.
Okay. The Karasir lunges at you with its rapier. You literally just manage to. Well, you dodge. You don't really dodge at all, but you just move slightly to the left, and the rapier skewers and scrapes along the wall, narrowly missing you. Okay. Right. Okay. Now it's fine. Okay. So we're into normal rounds now. Okay. So in Dex order, Douglas, you obviously you're a long way up the corridor, but you obviously hear the shots being fired. You spin round to see Stanton being attacked by Karasiri with a sword. You got your gun in your hand. What are you going to do?
How far away is he?
He's currently, hold on a sec, about 30 feet away from you.
Okay, I'm gonna.
So it's normal range.
Yeah, I'm not gonna.
And you
I'm
will
not
also
gonna. I'm not gonna
be
use a
firing
sword.
to melee.
I'm not gonna fire a sawn-off shotgun at that range into where.
No, were you holding your
Stanton is.
sawn-off shotgun with?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I'm gonna move forward, back towards him, and
Okay.
once
Is that what you're
I'm in within. Yeah, if I could get within 10 feet of him, then I will fire.
Okay. Yeah, from
Actually,
where
no,
you
I
are,
won't. I'm gonna get within 10 feet of him, and then I'm gonna aim, and I will fire at him next time.
next round. Okay. Jackson, his gun, which I believe is a revolver. Yeah, it is. He's going to. He's also firing melee, point blank range. Okay, here we go. Okay, that doesn't hit. That one does. Oh, that could be an impale. 20%, isn't it, from my? And I need to roll the penalty die for that one. Misses. Penalty. And the last one, 44, is a hit if the penalty die allows it. Yes. Okay, 44 is a normal hit. D10 plus 2. Oh.
Oh.
Okay, Jackson goes one shot misses. The second shot smacks into the wall, but the third one, he gets a bead. He hits it right between the eyes, and it goes down. The Karasiri lies on the ground. A huge.
Great shot, Jackson.
Oh, thank you so much, Jackson. I thought I was had it for a minute.
No worries. We need to move on. You know what these things can do.
We've got one of them. Lex, do you want to use the bar on it, the gold on it? Stop it coming back after us?
Yeah,
Or
I
do you
think we
think
have
we've
to.
got time?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we could do. If there's gold up against inlaid in the wall, isn't there?
Yeah.
Here, lean it up against the wall and see if that has the same effect.
Okay. It does burn it. It burns its skin in the same way, but it doesn't have the same effect because you can't really get enough unless you kind of literally just stand next to it, holding the body against the wall.
I was hoping we could just leave it.
Why don't we use the gold we've got to burn it away while the others sort of have a couple on guard duty here, while the rest try and find the space for the gold.
It only took 10 minutes to destroy the others. Let's just all stand together for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And just
keep an eye out for
guard.
the other one.
It was two look in one direction, two look in the other.
Yeah, because what if there is any others here? They would have heard us now.
Yeah.
There's gunshots going off. Okay, you spend the next 10 minutes destroying the Caraceri in a similar fashion to the D Mendoza and the others. Nothing disturbs you. Nothing else happens other than the constant noise that you can hear. Okay, then you're going to move on, yeah?
Was there anything on the body?
Apart from his sword.
Take his sword. Jackson, do you want it? I'm not much good with these things. Anyone
Not
else?
really.
Is it? I can have a look at the sword. Is it? And then is it?
It's going to be old.
Right, it's definitely antique. You estimate it must probably be about 1500s or so. It's got a basket hilt which is inlaid with gems as well.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
It's a genuine conquistador sword. It is literally a genuine conquistador sword. Well, it was up until a few minutes ago.
If we make it out, at least we have that.
Okay. So when you're doing that, are you just staying? Because you're back at the T junction now. There's a corridor which goes east, but only about 10 feet, and open to a room. But you're not at the T junction.
Well, I guess if we're waiting at the T junction, we look in north. It's probably the best thing to do.
You look at what? Sorry.
I was saying we keep guard
What
by
are you going to go?
everyone. We stay at the T junction, but look in each direction.
Okay, you just staying at the T junction. That's fine. Okay, right, that's done. Yeah. You've destroyed the turn. You're on the wall now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, and keep looking behind in case another creeps up behind us.
Should we have someone at the front and at the back who are not searching the wall and are looking ahead and behind, and then the people in the middle actually looking along the wall?
Yeah.
Yes.
We should always have somebody armed and ready should anything come running towards us.
Okay. You follow the corridor for about another 20 feet or so until you come to the base of another one of the chimneys from above. So you now figure you're probably underneath the one that you saw in the northern part of the ziggurat.
Mm-hmm.
If you can see that on the map. Okay, and then you carry on along there. The gold inlay is present all the way along here. And then, as you would expect, the corridor then turns directly south then to follow the outline of the pyramid.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, you look down that corridor as you turn around the corner, which probably runs for about another 60 feet or so. You don't see anything untoward on the wall here, but you carry on. I presume you carry on down there.
Yeah. Do you get the feeling we might have gone the wrong way?
Yeah. I think it's done now.
No, we just have to keep looping round, don't we?
Yes.
Right, the stench as you walk down this corridor, down like south on this corridor, the smell is really, really strong. It's getting worse. It's really, really, and you feel like this is the worst it's been since you've been here.
If I get a second, when we're stopped, I'll reload my pistol.
Okay. About 2/3 of the way down this corridor, you can now see, as you're shining your lights in front of you, there appears to be a skeleton lying on the floor in the middle of the corridor. As I said to you before, there are lots of other kind of broken pieces of bone on the floor, but this is the first time you've actually seen like a full skeleton.
Is it come like bare, or has it got any clothes or anything?
No, it's not got any clothes. It is bare. It looks like it's been here quite a long time, and a lot of the stuff's rotted away.
Even though it does look dead, I think
you're at the front. You're at the front, aren't you, Lex? Lex, can you make a spot hidden roll for me, please? You shine your torch at the skeleton from a distance.
No, I don't have a success for that.
Okay. What about Douglas, who's also next to you?
I, on the other hand, successfully
succeed.
Something.
Okay, what you spot is you shine your light on the skeleton, and you see something gleaming and white moving inside its skull through one of the empty eye sockets.
Okay, it's got one of those maggots in it.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you think it is. As you see it, now you're focused in on it.
Point the gun towards it. Start to look a bit nervous. What's that, Douglas?
It's got in the skull. There's one of those maggots
It looks like looking at it, you're still you're still about 30 feet away from it, but it's like it's basically the size of a human fist, made up of a shapeless mass of white protoplasm, resembling congealed rancid fat. There's a strong smell of rotten meat here as well, which you think is coming from that thing.
So the host was killed, and it's sat there ever since, waiting
Yeah.
for its next victim.
As your kind of torchlight falls on it, and you're obviously examining it, it's only happened over a few seconds. Suddenly, it moves amazingly fast out of the eye sockets of the skeleton, and it literally starts making it writhing along the corridor towards you.
Okay,
Fire.
I'll take I'll aim at it and then
Okay.
shoot it.
Yeah, you think you've got time to do that? It's quite close to you there by the time.
I will not be aiming. I will be just panicking and shooting.
Okay,
Get the gold bar on it.
only you two can see it at this stage.
Yeah. So shush.
So Douglas, you've got your shotgun there. You're taking aim, but Lex completely just panics and starts firing.
I'm panicking. Yep.
Okay, roll to hit then, please. You get a penalty die because of the size of it. Oh dear.
I can offer you a 99 without a flake. Yeah.
Oh dear.
What are you firing? Colt.
Oh.
45.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. If it was
So
a
just a
38,
dud.
that would. It doesn't. It's not. That's not even a malfunction.
It's not a malfunction.
Okay, that's good.
As I say, if it was a 38, then it malfunctions on
It's a
97 to 100.
good, reliable 1911 weapon.
Okay, unfortunately, it doesn't do the job you wanted it to do with that particular bullet. You just slam that; it just hits the ground quite a long way away from the writhing thing. Were you just firing once?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I did say I was panicking.
Yeah, you literally just fire into the wall. Okay, it's alarmingly close to you, Douglas, when you pull the trigger.
Okay. So
After your
aim
stick it.
and point blank.
Yeah, you get a bonus die, 2 bonus die, in fact.
Good.
I know you lose 1 bonus die because of the size of it, so it's only 1 bonus die.
Come on. Let's turn that 82 into something tasty.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, you're joking. 82 becomes 82.
82.
Oh,
How many shots is it with that shotgun?
I was only going to fire once.
Okay, right. You do fire, but it doesn't hit the writhing protoplasmic maggot. Hold on. Okay, right. The thing crawls along the floor, as I said, with amazing speed, and literally just it jumps from the ground, and as it did previously when you're in Sanchez's office, starts crawling up your leg.
Whose leg? Mine or Lex's?
It has no intelligence, so it is literally a random. I'm going to roll it. 1 to 3, Lex. 4, 5, 6.
Hey.
Douglas, I'm afraid. Okay, you feel it manages to get inside your trousers, at the bottom of your trouser leg, and it starts crawling up your bare skin. You can feel its caustic slime that it's exuding beginning to burn into your flesh. You take one hit point. Okay, so that was okay. So we're now going in normal dex order. So it'll now be you first, Douglas. What are you going to do?
Drop the shotgun, grab my knife, and
Try and
cut my
stab
trouser. No, not trying to stab it. I'm going to cut the trouser leg to try and use the knife to flick it away.
Okay, that's fine. So that'd be you need to make a fighting maneuver. So it's a brawl roll to do that.
Well, no.
Okay.
you just rolled 3 82s in a row.
Yep.
Right, you try and you rip your trouser leg open in panic, and you try to flick it off, but it's moving literally so quickly that you can't. You put your knife where you think it is, and then it's gone. It's literally coming higher and higher up your leg. Okay, Jacob, what are you doing?
I will try and use the
Use the sword.
rapier
Use the
to
sword.
flick it off.
You run forward, and you're going to try and flick it off with the rapier, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's going to. Right, you get a bonus die on this because it's already been attacked once this round. And it's going to try and dodge as well. Okay, that's a hard success.
Oh God. So I get a bonus die, do I?
Bonus die, yeah.
Excellent.
Oh,
Or 19. What am I rolling against? Brawl.
you're rolling against Brawl, yeah. Is that
Yeah,
you need an extreme success?
No, it's just a normal
Yeah.
success.
Normal success, okay.
Yeah.
Its dodge was a hard success, so you try and use the blade that you're not kind of used to using anyway, and it's kind of, and you just try and flick at it, but nothing happens. All you do is end up kind of almost stabbing Douglas in the leg instead. Okay, it's Jackson's turn, but he's right at the back, so he's going to wait. Stanton, what are you going to do?
Stanton is going to go, oh no, my computer's broken again, and sit there and do nothing.
Oh, so he gone offline?
Yep. He's just texted us to say that his computer's frozen and he's restarting.
Okay. So that means Lex, what are you doing?
I can't see the creature, can I? It's just under his clothes.
You can now because he ripped his trousers.
He rips his trousers.
Yeah, you can see it. It's crawling. You can see it crawling up. It's got to his knee now.
Can I try and grab it and just crush it in my fist?
Yeah, you can. You can do that. That'd be it's just a normal fighting roll. That brawl
I
roll.
just want to grab it and crush it with my strength.
Okay. Yeah. So it's going to try and dodge. Which it's a fail on the dodge. It's your opportunity now. You get 2 bonus die on this as well.
Is this against Brawl?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a success. Let's see if I can improve it. No. So I just have a success.
Okay, well, that's fine. Because you've hit it. So you now need to roll your normal damage.
Okay, so that my normal damage is 4.
Okay, that's including your damage bonus, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a 2 for my D3 and a 2 for my damage bonus.
Yeah. Okay. So you literally just you thrust your hand at it and you grab hold of it and you literally just squash it in your huge hands, and all of the caustic, fatty protoplasm like squirts out of it, which does.
Oh yeah, I haven't thought this through.
2 damage to you and 2 damage to Douglas.
Ah, it burns.
It's literally just spray. Well, it just sprays all over you, like on your exposed skin. That's where it burns you. But the good news is that you just chuck it with contempt to the ground. So literally, you have squashed it.
Okay.
It is no more.
So get a canteen out and get some water onto our hands.
Yeah,
and,
wash it off.
Yeah.
Okay. You
Good
start.
thinking, Lex. Thanks.
I'm not sure I was thinking, Doug. I just went for it. Looking at my burnt hands. Perhaps if I'd thought a bit more, I wouldn't have done that. But success is success, I suppose.
It was the right thing to do. I don't think it was getting a little bit too close to the jewels.
Yeah. If it got any closer to the jewels, I wouldn't have reached out quite so readily.
Jeez, guys, are you okay? Stanton, you can tend to them, can't you? With your you must have something other than vinegar in your bag.
He's going to get the vinegar and brown paper out like Jack and Jill, and
so he's going to do first aid. Stanton's going to do first aid on both of you, getting some salve out to try and help you.
He's going to have to roll against nursery rhymes.
Oh no, your crown is broken.
we know he's got the equipment. It's all good.
Oh dear. Okay. I'm just going to try and find out what his first aid is. I can't remember.
I mean, I have some first aid. I can tend
65.
to myself if you want.
Well, let him go first. Okay. So that's you, Stanton.
That's a good roll.
That's you. Yeah. So that's one hit point back for you for his first aid, and the same for you, Douglas, as well. Okay. So he applies some salve, which kind of takes the burning away and the redness, but obviously, you still got some damage there. Okay, everything again is quiet now in the corridor. And horrible noises you can hear, but you almost got used to them now.
I reload the shotgun and I tuck my the bottom of my trousers into my socks. But the ripped one, I'll tuck it in as best I can.
Okay, right. What are you gonna do now? Press on.
Well, I look at Douglas and think that's genius and copy him.
I doubt there'll be
Is everybody
any
going
more.
to tuck their trousers in there?
I think we are.
I don't know whether Jacob's the type of man that would do that. Is he?
Well, it's dark. No one will see.
He's going to use some. He's going to use some of the slime off the maggot on his moustache and beard.
He doesn't mind not looking stylish as long as it's in the dark.
Okay. Yeah. So
Nobody bring bicycle clips.
No.
Hmm.
Well,
Next
you see, we kept asking us what extra equipment we'd want.
The one thing I needed.
Yeah.
Well, let's keep going.
Yeah. We've still got to find
You
a
gotta
home
keep
for this piece of gold.
In future as well, I'm just not going to bother aiming. I'm just going to blast.
yeah, that's pretty much what Lex did in that combat.
Look at
That's
that. Yeah, well, that worked.
Oh, all right.
That pyramid never stood a chance.
Okay, you head down the bottom of the corridor, and you turn the corner. Okay, there are loads. As you turn the corner, you just see a huge cloud of flies, about 30 feet. You can see you can see the gold warding runs along the wall, and there is a huge, wide crack about 2 inches wide that runs down the wall at that area. And dripping through the crack, you can see oozing and dripping as a horrible pure white fat type. It looks similar to the stuff that they're scourging into the top of the temple, so that this maggot thing was made of. And you have to kind of turn your face away, even with your neck scars on your face, because there's actually a pool about 10 foot long in the middle of the corridor here. So basically, where the inlay has been taken out of the wall is cracked, and all this kind of fat is dripping through.
Does that mean that because the crack's there, that this won't fit back in properly?
What it means initially is that it's going to be quite hard. It's really, other than actually wading into the pool, you're not even going to be able to get close enough to the wall to be able to see what.
God.
Well, put the gold on the edge. Put the gold on the edge of the pool and see if it starts to
Recoil from it.
Yeah, it does exactly that.
or burn it away.
Okay. As you
How
put the
quickly
gold
does
on
it
the edge,
move back?
not really that quickly. But you don't know. You're not sure the crack. You're not even sure whether it's a pool or whether it literally is just the bottom of the corridor. I mean, it looks like there's quite a lot of this fat stuff here that's been dripping out for quite a long time. Also, Jacob, as you kneel down to burn the edge of the pool, you notice there are things moving in it.
Oh God!
We'll back off a little bit. Let's have a discussion about our next steps. Over here, slightly away from it.
Should we leave the gold touching the edge of the pool while we have this discussion? So
Yeah.
at least it does
See
something while we're.
A barrier sort of thing.
I'm not sure about that. I don't think we want to let go of it. It's
Okay.
unbelievably valuable to us.
All right.
If this ooze is very similar to the thing that just attacked me, how sure are we that pool's not going to attack us?
No,
We're not.
I'm not. That's
We're
why
not
I
sure
wanted
at all.
to back off a
That's
bit.
why we're back at the corridor, at the turn of the corridor now.
Can we burn it? Have we got anything we
We'll
can
choke.
use?
We're in a confined space.
Yeah, that's the
Anything
trouble,
that's
isn't it?
burning is necessarily going to. I mean, the gold's obviously the most effective way. Anything else is just nibbling around the edges of it, isn't it?
It's highly flammable fat, isn't it? So we could burn it, but it's like Lex said though.
Trust me, I was a submariner. We do not want fire down here.
No. Also, how much fat's behind it?
How much fat?
We should try and push it.
We don't know. We don't.
Well, let's push it. Let's push it
looks
back
like
with the gold.
When you basically the whole of the corridor for a 10-foot section is covered fat on the floor, but you don't know whether it is just the floor. It looks like it might actually be deeper than that. I.e., there's where the crack is. There is the actual floor of the corridor is damaged. So
And we have to get through that pool, do we, to get to the bit of the wall with the crack?
Yeah, because that's where it's all coming from. It's literally coming from the crack in the wall. You don't think you'd have a problem with the crack because it's 2 inches wide. So you think you can see the inlay and you can see the recess in the wall where the gold bar that you've got should go, and you can see where it's been levered out. So you reckon you reckon it'd be relatively easy to put it back in if you could get. But the problem is getting to it would involve going through the.
No, I can't suggest that.
You can suggest anything at this stage.
No, I can't suggest this. I said we give the gold bar to Stanton and he walks over there and puts it in.
Actually,
Stanton
What?
thinks that's the
If your-
best
if your-
idea.
If your computer breaks, you take the danger.
Yeah, computer goes down.
It's that
3
this
penalty
is-
dice.
It's at this stage of the adventure that we need a pointless sacrifice, Stanton.
Maybe this should be a problem for next week. Just like
Yeah.
Well, I
joking,
suppose it's 5 to
joking
11.
aside, it's 5 to 11. Adam's not been here for 15 minutes.
yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, yeah. Well,
Yes.
you're not going to come up with a master plan in 5 minutes anyway, are you? So it's
No.
probably best if you
No.
don't actually, because you won't come up with a master plan that keeps Adam alive in the next 5 minutes. Put it that way. Stanton, even. Okay, cool. We'll leave it there then. We'll leave it with you standing in front of this huge pool of filth, trying to decide how you're going to get to the wall that you know that you need to put the golden ward back into.
Thank you so much for sticking around to the end, which is more than one of our players managed. Don't worry, Adam has been sent on a computer repair course and will be back with us for what will be the concluding episode to Season 1, this prologue adventure of Master Nyarlathotep. We'll see you next week.